Sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn your notifications so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying massive shout out to every one of you for all the love and support you all give me here. I am truly grateful. Thank you all so much. So you all know this video is actually like more like cleaning house, right? I mean, he always said that you cannot be caring to black people. I mean, you cannot be a caring or you cannot be rate to the season to black people, but you are enjoying everything black people invented. It is either you choose one. Clean up your houses. I mean, clean up everything you have in your house that were invented by black people and move them away. There are people that want to use them. Or you are gonna be down for black people. So you cannot be a Karen, you cannot be a rate of the season, and you are enjoying everything that were invented by black people. So this one is actually teeth and teas. It's actually about a black man who like invented so many things and eventually became the first professor in Harvard University and all that. This is actually an interesting story that you definitely do not want to miss out on. I really love to see something like this when he talks about, I love to see when he talks about all the things black people have done and all that. And this one is one of that great story you do not want to miss out on. And you can, like I said before, you cannot be a Karen and you are enjoying everything that were invented by black people. So you better choose one. Continue to be a Karen or clean up your house. I see a lot of them always saying that he is trying to divide, he's trying so much to divide black people and white people, but you all can see the division already. You know what, I am just gonna roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. Let me know what you all think in the comment section, and shut up, I am brought in the clip.
This is the story of how one black American man ruined many beautiful Saturday afternoons for rich old white dudes. This is definitely a Jiffy Pop kind of story, and I just found out today it was founded right here in LaPorte, Indiana. Now, many of you know the golf tee was invented by a black American man, but did you know his name was George Grant? We celebrate George Grant for the golf tee, but this man did so much more. The damn fern. This has to be the coolest name I've ever uttered in one of my videos. Tudor Elandor Grant was born in 1800 in Maryland into enslavement. He escaped from there to New York, where he found refuge, becoming a big-time abolitionist and helping with the Underground Railroad. Now, in 1846, Mr. Grant and his wife welcomed their son, young George, into the world, not realizing how prominent a role that this young man was going to make. Let me just stop for a minute. George Grant invented and patented the first modern golf tee, and many of us know that. Here you see the picture of the patent right there of it, changing the game of golf forever and ruining many pretty afternoons of rich old white dudes. I wasn't lying, but that's not really what this video is about. Let me tell you what George Grant did that's truly impressive. The law of unintended consequences is a very precarious thing. You'll hear me say it in a lot of videos. Young George got into a fight with his father at 15 years old and left home. Now, he bounced around there in New York, picking up work as a dental lab assistant and just, general duties there. And he finally made his way to Boston. Now, when he got to Boston, he hooked up with John J. Smith, one of the great American abolitionists and a 3-term representative from the state of Massachusetts, also someone who's instrumental in helping enslaved people gain their freedom on the Underground Railroad. But because he rented a room from him, he was right by the Harvard campus, and Harvard had just opened a dental school. Remember how I told you the law of unintended consequences, and he worked as a dental assistant in a lab in his late teens to make ends meet? Well, he hung around that dental school, and at age 21, he got in, becoming only the second black American dentist in our history. I mean, he's also only the second black American dental student at Harvard. So he graduates at a class of 12, And he gets a job the next year in mechanical dentistry. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's making appliances for the mouth. Now, keep in mind, this is the 1870s. Dentistry was not that advanced. Now, there's a congenital condition called cleft palate. Most of us know what that is, right? A cleft palate is where your palates don't align correctly and it's harder to chew and eat normally. He invented a device, a prosthetic device that you would wear like at night to help them align called the oblo palate. He invented it, and this is revolutionary. Let me tell you how cold this guy was. He became the first black American professor ever at Harvard. Hell, he was there almost 20 years. He became president of the Harvard Dental Alumni Foundation. I guess he's a dentist through and through because the man loved golf. And while I can't prove it, records indicate he might have been one of the first black golfers in America. He created the golf tee out of frustration, which changed the game as we know. He never marketed the golf tee. He just handed it out to friends of his. But in the early 1990s, the National Golf Association recognized his contribution to the game of golf finally. But what did dentistry do for George Grant? I mean, besides being a superstar dentist and all, he had his big home that he built. He was very successful practice. He had patients come from out of state to see him. And one of his patients was actually the president of Harvard University. Now, he owned a big vacation home, and he owned another property that he built his own private golf course right next to it so he could play anytime that he wanted. He died in 1910 in his mid-60s, forever changing a lot of what we know about golf and dentistry. I just think this dude is so cool. And like I said, we all know about the golf tee, but we don't know the impact he made on dentistry. I mean, he's the first black professor at Harvard. Why do we not know this? Anyway, I think George Grant is a fascinating story, and I just wanted to add a few more layers and context to this real American genius. Have a great night.
All right, so this is all we got from this video, and I love to see things like this. He has really been pissing off a whole lot of people because he chose to like celebrate black people and also let people know most of the things they invented that people do not talk about, or they talk about and probably push the recognition towards white people and the rest of it. I just love to see it. I love to see how people celebrate black people who have done great jobs, and there are probably no more. And like I see a lot of them asking him, why do you choose to divide, or why do you choose to do something like this? Because you've been all bringing out things that black people invented, because he was like, man, you cannot be racism. I mean, you are racism towards black people, but you are enjoying almost everything they did. If you are racism, you know what you are gonna do? Just move away, clean up your house. Yeah, because he called it cleaning up house, right? So clean up your house and stop using what they invented, because you cannot be horrible to them and still enjoying everything they invented and many more. I mean, I see a lot of comments, telling him, it's time you stop doing this because we feel like you are dividing. No, he is not dividing anything. He is also making you all, he really wants you all to know that most of the things you all are doing, all the things mostly in your houses and all that, were all invented by black people. Still, you all do not want to acknowledge and recognize them, but you are all acting racism towards black people, and you all think it's cool. Bro, it ain't cool. So you all can see that first professor in Harvard University, and why we need to sing all that. This is absolutely a great video. I love it. I enjoyed it, and I hope you also love it. This is where I am going to draw the curtain. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.